Hey everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for this week of January 2014. I want to thank you all for joining me here. Apologize for being a bit late. Got a lot of books here to cover. Yeah, an average stack. Reason why I'm running a little late with this is because I had a busy weekend, but it was a fun weekend. Got to spend some time with Jennifer, my girlfriend. And we got together with a bunch of our friends last Sunday night and we all watched WrestleMania 2 just to reminisce about the old days of professional wrestling. So I got one book from Valiant and the rest are from Marvel and DC. We're going to start with Valiant. We're going to start off with Quantum and Woody, issue number 7. Business in the front, party in the back. I like this cover. This cover is a bit silly, but it works. This picks up right where issue 6 left off. Woody has found out that the guy, the religious nut Magnum, is the true villain of this particular storyline. He's the one that's wanting to, quote-unquote, start this new revolutionary war, so to speak. And he does everything he can to find a way to get out and go tell Quantum and go warn him. It's like, hey, Quantum, you're going after the wrong guys. He finds a way to get out, and I'm not going to spoil how he gets out because it's too damn good. It's too damn funny. I loved it. Meanwhile, Quantum's got his hands full. He's got some bad memories showing back up. Yeah, and Woody does eventually get out, and he finds a way to tell Quantum, it's like, hey, these are not the villains you're looking for, instead. He doesn't exactly say that. But at the end, Quantum gives this really big stock cliche, fight for what you believe in kind of speech and everything. We've seen speeches like this a million times. But at the end, everybody's all pumped up and ready, and Quantum's like, shit, we're gonna die. It's just great. I mean, it's pure, simple fun. I'm loving it. The only problem I had with this issue was hardly nothing at all from the GOAT. Damn it. Everybody loves the GOAT. But this was a pure, simple, fun read. Loved it. It's great. The dialogue is just hilariously well done. The drama, the action, what action we did get. I mean, it's just another solid reminder that comic books, sometimes they just need to be fun. This was great. I loved it. Moving on to DC, we got Batgirl number 27. Gail Simone, about to you, dear lady. You are a great writer. I don't care how many fans trash on me for overrating you or whatever. This is fantastic stuff. A tie into Gothtopia. Picture it. Gotham City. The safest city in the world. Everything's beautiful. Everything's bright. There's no pollution. There's no crime. Yet, this is a great example. Gail Simone writes a story that reminds us, no matter how much you polish a turd, at the end of the day, it's still a turd. And I'm referring to Gotham City. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to realize that this city isn't as whimsical and bright and cheerful as it should be. People are starting to realize something's not right. This is not Gotham City. This is not how this city should be. And one person in particular has a really big meltdown, and I'm not going to go into detail at all. I'm trying my best not to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is somebody goes batshit crazy, no pun intended, but just where it happens and what they do when they snap, oh my god, really fucking amazing. I loved it. And to see what Barbara has to do and to see what happens at the end of this issue, phenomenal stuff. Great, great stuff. Gail, thank you. I love you. You're a great writer. This is fantastic. I just wish the rest of Gothtopia could be told like this, because I'm pretty sure Catwoman and the Birds of Prey are not going to hold a candle to this. This was fantastic. I loved it. Moving on to Green Lantern Corps number 27. Van Jensen, Robert Venditti, they do their best with this. This is the rest of the Green Lantern Corps dealing with the stuff that's going on ever since Hal Jordan made that proclamation that the real threat is the Green Lantern Corps, and if you don't bow to our will, you will suffer. And it's basically what this was. And it's basically John and the rest of the Corps trying to solve what's going on. They're answering distress calls. They're going after Green Lanterns that have been kidnapped. Notice that they have been kidnapped, and there's a reason for that. And I'm not going to go into detail as to why they are simply being kidnapped instead of being killed off. There is a reason behind it, and it actually very well, logically, makes a lot of sense. This was really, really good stuff. There's some questioning going on with Fatality here, and I'm wondering if she's going to be a really big part of this story. And I'm thinking she could be. This was really good. A solid read. Was it perfect? No. This was well above average, but nowhere near perfect. A solid read. I loved it. It was great. It's Jon Stewart being the Boy Scout, and it's being done and it's being written like that very well. I enjoyed it. It was good. Moving on to Suicide Squad number 27. Matt Kent does what he can with this. Deadshot's Revenge. This is a tie into Forever Evil. Amanda Waller's got her hands full with King Shark and OMAC and everything. That's all well and good. It's just too bad I really couldn't care less. I really could care less about what's going on with Amanda Waller. You could change her appearance all you want, DC, but the fact is she's still a bitch. A bitch is still a bitch. But what this issue basically is an exposition issue. And what I mean by that is Deadshot, Warrant, Unknown Soldier, Steel, and Power Girl, and Boomerang, they're all trapped under this mountain. They're trying to get out. And while that's being told, there's like pages of their backstories being told, what they were before they got to this point. And call me crazy, I'm actually digging Power Girl in this series. I'm actually digging Power Girl here more than I did in World's Finest. I dropped that series. This was actually pretty good, nicely told. However, the one thing that hurts this issue is too much exposition, too much backstory telling. Some of these backstories we already know, and it kind of slows the progression of the story down quite a bit. I would personally like to see this story with OMAC get wrapped up as soon as possible so we can move on to the next story arc. But this wasn't bad. This was an average read. Just a little bit above average, but was it great? Nah, I would consider this just an average read, but it was still enjoyable. That's how I can put it best. Yeah, that's all I can say. Moving on to Marvel, we're going to start off with All New X-Men number 21. Brian Michael Bendis, Drew Peterson. Woo. Wait a minute, did I get that right? Let me see if I got that name right. Hang on. Did I just say Drew Peterson? That can't be right. Brandon Peterson. Why did I say Drew Peterson? I'll just leave it out of the bag for right now. But All New X-Men 21. Bendis is still doing a solid job with the X-Men titles. Not much to say about this issue. It was good, but it was also very simple. It's Kitty and her team of the original X-Men along with X-23 getting out of the clutches of William Stryker. We learn more about Stryker as a character, and I like where they go with it. But the big point of the book is that Stryker even brings in a contact for advice, and I'm not going to spoil who that was. Nice. But there's questioning as to whether or not they should actually kill the original X-Men, because they know it's the original X-Men from the past traveled through time to this point in time. And everybody's just thinking, if we kill these X-Men, would that have serious repercussions on where we are now, timeline-wise? Everybody's questioning whether or not it would be, time chronologically appropriate to kill these mutants. And it was just really well put, and it was a simple yet very solid read, and I loved it. It was great. I liked the ending. I liked how they got out of the Stryker's clutches. And the next issue is going to tie in with Guardians of the Galaxy as we go through the trial of Jean Grey. That should be an awesome read. This was good. Solid read. Nothing much else to say. Moving on to The Amazing X-Men, issue number 3. Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness. I never have really been a big fan of Ed McGuinness' artwork because he tends to get a little steroidy when he draws some characters. But in here, it actually works. This is some of Ed McGuinness' best art I've seen in a long time, and to see how he does Beast in here, and I'm talking about Big Blue Boy himself, the Beast, the current Beast. This was a welcome reminder of just how awesome of a fighter he was, how good of a quipper he was, how damn smart he is. Him seeing how he goes toe-to-toe with Azazel in here was just pure awesomeness. And I also liked how Jason Aaron writes a story in which we also remember that Storm and Nightcrawler had a romance at one point in time, and we're going back and trying to retouch on that. Since Storm's no longer married to T'Challa, let's see what we can get here by possibly revisiting her romance with Kurt. And I like that. This could go somewhere. Very nicely told. But long story short, at the end of the book, the cliffhanger, oh my God, what a cliffhanger. Thank you, Mr. Aaron. Thank you, Mr. McGuinness. You got me. You got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm ready to read the next issue. This was awesome. I loved it. I'm hooked. Fantastic. Thank you for this. This was incredible. Moving on to Daredevil number 35. Mark Magic Wade. Oh my God. Where do I begin with this? Where do I begin with this? Matt's rushing to the hospital to spend what could be the last moments he has with Foggy. But then two members of the Sons of the Serpent show up. You want to talk about making it personal. These sons of bitches hit Matt hard. Not physically, but emotionally and morally. They have paperwork connecting him to Daredevil, and they're basically blackmailing him. And Matt feels like he's in a lose-lose situation. Fucking amazing drama in this issue. He consults Elektra in his own personal way in here. But then we get to the cliffhanger. Oh, I can't spoil anything. I can't. This was good. This was better than good. This was fucktastic. Yeah, fucktastic. No, this was incredible. I loved it. Awesome stuff. Mark Waid using that magic like he knows how. Ooh, just solid reading. I fucking loved it. I can't wait to read the next issue. Moving on to the Superior Spider-Man number 25, another Give Me $5 issue. You're probably thinking I'm going to shit all over this book, right? Excuse me, I'm going to go shit on this book. I'll be right back. No, I'm fucking lying. This wasn't that bad. What I did like is that a certain someone is coming back into the fold. I know it's already spoiled all over the internet, but I'm kind of thinking this person should have showed up a lot sooner. I like the fact that they got the Venom symbiote off of Spider-Man, but not everybody's fooled anymore. Mary Jane is fooled again, but not everybody is fooled anymore. But there's also something else concerning the goblins. The Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin. We're ready to start the War of the Goblins. You know, it's Norman Osborn versus Roderick Kingsley, and I'm ready for that. But there's something else concerning Carly Cooper in here. And I'm just like, oh, you bastard. Norman, you bastard. This was really good. This was actually not that bad. I don't like the price tag, and I don't like the fact that it's already spoiled what's possibly going to happen at the end of the series. We already know. But for what this was, it was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good for what it was. We're ending with Uncanny X-Men number 16. Brian Michael Bendis, still nailing it. Chris Bachalo's artwork. It actually works in here. Now, first thing I want to say is, if you're a fan of old school Magneto, and if you were a fan of how Magneto once was, you're going to like the beginning of this book. Sadly, the beginning of this book is basically Eric daydreaming about how he used to be. And you could tell he's just craving the chance to be like that again. Very, very awesome stuff. But Dazzler shows up and makes propositions to Magneto concerning Madripoor. So Magneto goes on a little trip to Madripoor and realizes that it's an island where the mutants can get away and just be themselves. It's basically a utopia that was better than Cyclops' utopia. You know, better than Genosha is supposed to be. And Magneto's learning all kinds of things. Sometimes the easy way, sometimes the hard way. Not going to go into much detail about it. But then Dazzler shows back up with, excuse me, with other mutants. You know, the Blob, Sabretooth, the whole 9 yards. And, you know, Eric is a little pissed. And Dazzler reveals herself, and it is Mystique. You know, Mystique tells Eric that this is a place where mutants can get away. You know, can get away from the prejudice and can get away from the hurt and the pain. We want you to help run it. And Magneto is actually insulted by this because it's basically, he says, you know, Charles Xavier had a dream where mutants and humans could live together in harmony. I had a dream where the mutants can overthrow the humans and be the dominant species on the planet. And he feels like what's going on in Madripoor is a downright fucking insult to the mutant population. And it's already blown up all over the internet. It's implied or it's teased that Magneto actually kills Mystique in this issue. I seriously doubt he did. Because I know Marvel. Because let's just say for the sake of argument that Magneto does kill Mystique in this issue. I know Marvel too well. They will retcon that death within a year and she'll be back. Marvel has a real hard-on for killing characters off, but then bringing them back very, very shortly because they don't have the courage to test the waters and see how the storylines can progress without a signature character. Case in point, Johnny Storm. He was killed off. Wasn't even a year later he was brought back. Case in point, Fear itself. Thor was supposedly killed at the end of that story. Yet he was brought back, what, maybe 2 months later? Maybe, or was it 2 weeks? He was brought back, I think he was brought back within a month. What's the point of killing a character off if you're going to retcon their death off just like that? If you're going to kill off a character, let him stay dead for a while. See where you can go with it. If you're going to bring a character back, which I know Marvel will, then do it in a way that doesn't fucking insult us to make us think, what was the point of killing this character off anyway, if you're going to bring him back that quick? But if they don't kill off Mystique, if they just have her get mortally wounded and she has to take time to heal, I'll be fine with that. A lot of people are pissed off that they might be killing off Mystique in here. I don't think they are. But if they do, see where you go with it. Yeah, I'll be a little upset too if they kill off Mystique because she's one of my favorite X-Men villains. But who knows? Who knows what can stem from it? But this was a really solid issue. I think this is a must-have for any big Magneto fan because we get to see shades of old school Magneto. Very nice. And I liked the insinuation that possibly explains why his magnetic powers are quote-unquote broken. I like how they assume the reason why they're broken. It doesn't imply anything with the Phoenix powers. Think about that. This is definitely worth the read. I think it's definitely worth your time. Definitely worth the read. Really good. Really solid issue. Well, that's all I got for this review, everybody. It's a bit of a mess, but I got done with it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget my Blugoblin X channel. My bro, TheMtVernonKid, he just told me not too long ago that the Midtown Comic Stashes will be returning very soon. I don't know when they'll come back. I'm thankful that he is going to start doing that again. And Chris, if you're watching, which I know you will be, Chris, I want to thank you again for starting that back up when you obviously didn't really have to, but I appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you and Midtown Comics have in store for me. And I hope everything is resolved very well with your family, especially with your aunt. I hope everything is on the up and up. You get my bro love, man. Bro fist, bro hug. It's all for you, dude. It's all for you. Don't forget about Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. I'm going to try to get caught up on that. I'm going to review the Cataclysm books from the Ultimate Spiderman and X-Men. I think I'm done for Savage Wolverine for right now. I haven't been able to find copies of it to read. Trying to figure out some new titles to review for Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. I took a look at Night of the Living Deadpool. I might review that on Inc. Plus. My girlfriend and I were going to try our best to find some new stuff to review for Arkham Asylum Studio. That channel is not dead. We'll find some stuff to review on that, and as soon as we do, we'll get a review up there as soon as we possibly can. Don't forget about my bro. Don't forget about my bro, TheMtVernonKid, as well as my friends, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex, Mark and Chloe at Fast Stack of Comics, and everybody at Dark Avenger Inc. and Inc. Plus. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.